to you. Do you know how many people this would actually involve?
I don't know, but what I do know is that it's an absolutely devastating situation when you are a Palestinian residing here in the UK and you have got close family members every single day, and every moment of that day, you're really worried for their safety. And therefore, reuniting families is a human and kind thing to do, but it is the right thing to do as well.
I only ask because the mood in the UK, as I'm sure you're very aware, after a couple of years of mammoth legal immigration figures, is enough is enough, however sympathetic they are feeling to the plight of those living in Gaza.
I don't believe we're talking about many people. If I take my constituent invited to the UK on a study programme at York St John University, he came over just before the atrocities commenced on the 7th of October and has been trapped here apart from his family. So the UK government asked him to come, and when he comes, he now can't reunite with his family. It's those rare situations which we're really asking the government to make some movement on, to bring his family to the UK. He's got two little children, aged 10 and one 6 years old, and they want to be with their father. They want a place of safety, but instead, every day he's hearing stories, and often a house just down the road has been blown apart, and indeed the windows put through just where his children were sleeping. That's what the stress is that he's having to live. And what we need to do is be able to help these people across the border and then to come to the UK. And the irony is his family are eligible to come to the UK, but the Home Office has been saying they've got to get their biometrics first, and they can't get over the border to get their biometrics, so they're stuck.
Well, indeed, what are the practicalities of getting people out? How would they exit? You know, who would you choose and why? How close a relative would they have to be? Where would you draw that line?
Well, I think we are talking about close family members, and of course, they would need to be listed by the UK government to be able to cross the border. So that's the first hurdle, and we can't even get through that. And after that, they will then be in a neighbouring country being able to get in and get the biometrics before coming to the UK. So there'll still be a process. But the problem is at the moment you can't even commence that process because the government aren't playing ball. And that's all I'm asking, is that the government enable that process to take place.
Have you had any form of conversation with government about this? Do you see any window that this might happen?
I've raised it consistently for 2 years with governments, or since the situation began. And I have to say, I'm no further forward than I was at the beginning. Often I heard ministers saying we can't have terrorists in the country. These were children at the time, aged just 9 and 5. These children just want to be with their daddy. And it's really cruel keeping this family apart.
Well, are you, or do you think there would be concern about radicalisation? You mentioned, we can't have terrorists in the country. Many people would feel that Gazans, given what they've been through, the multiple times they've moved and been bombed, would be extremely angry towards nations that allowed Israel to take a response after October the 7th.
These people are hurting, and these are little children that just want a family life. That's all we're talking about, and why deny this family that right? And therefore, I think it's really important to look at how we can bring families back together again, ensure that safety and peace, and show that we are a country that really does care for upholding human rights, but also upholding the right to a family life. So I think we've got a responsibility to these families to help them come together to a place of safety, not least when we have asked those individuals to come to the UK to ensure that they can now bring their families. So I really do urge government to really think again through its policy to make it practical and workable, because at the moment their policy is just not executable. You cannot make it work.
Rachael Maskell, Labour MP, thank you.